Rabbits Hop, Hopi Indians, the Audacity of Hope. With the election of Barack Obama, the subliminals established by the Luciferian mindset are in evidence everywhere. One example is the connection with the rabbit god of America, and the word hop. Barack Obama wrote a book titled The Audacity of Hope. This suggests the method of zigzagging the mindset of intellectualism and religion to control our wisdom state, much as a rabbit maneuvers to avoid capture. The regeneration and hopping characteristics of the rabbit are just two aspects that were instilled into this creature as part of its nature to suggest to humanity the oneness of this animal with God. The Audacity of Hope is simply referring to the power and nerve of the rabbit god. The zigzag principles of this Luciferian rabbit symbol relate to the sacrifice that is continually ongoing in this 3D illusory world, and in this time, the sacrifice is linked to the financial collapse around the world that goes totally undetected by the masses. The Boaz and Jachin pillars of sacrifice, the J and B pillars, are manifest in the subliminal message formed by one word, job. The repetitious use of this word job is linked subconsciously to the notion of sacrifice. The very nature of a job is how we make money. Money is what we need to exist in this 3D illusion. Money is life. God gives life. Money, life, and God are inseparable to the subconscious mind. Therefore, to lose your job is to lose your life, and likewise, to lose your God. The word job is buy in reverse when using the Y for a J or G rule. To lose your job is to lose your buying power, or the power from God. The year, 2008, was the worst year for job losses in the USA since 1945. That statistic is deceiving because 1945 saw the soldiers returning after the Second World War ended, and were looking for jobs. So, with that taken into consideration, 2008 was the worst year ever for job losses. Which in turn is losing God. The subliminal in all this, that's intended to shape our future illusory reality, is that we have rejected God, and now humanity will have to pay the sacrifice. Subtle, slippery, and sneaky. Zigzag. In reality, in the paradise state, all is well, and we are all okay. Will we watch and wait, or will we react and worry, and be manipulated into some hideous pit, even deeper than our present pit of despair? Ihop pancakes anyone? The fast food industry has played a big part in perpetuating the illusory 3D reality. Yet again, the word hop relates to the International House of Pancakes, who just recently, right on cue, started advertising with the acronym IOP equals IHOP, which is a reference to the power and cunning American rabbit god. The primary food supplied by this restaurant is a pancake equals pay I kill, which is a batter of milk, flour, ground wheat, and eggs, that has to be fried on a hot griddle. Hopping right along, Hopi fertility river god of Egypt, the Hopi Indian reservation is located right of the border of Arizona and New Mexico. This common border forms the upright segment of the cross of the Four Corners cross states. Located precisely on the border is an incredible rock formation called Window Rock. See photo below. The Hopi Indians had a lot to say regarding the Luciferian agenda. The language is straight out of an Egyptian pharaoh's mouth, or any sun god worshipper throughout history. The name Hopi relates subliminally to the river god Hapi, yet another name for the fertility god that flooded the Nile annually. Hapi is also the suggestion behind the word happy, as this was the happy time of the year, as the flood was required to fertilize the land. This is precisely the language of all ancient civilizations who have experienced the 3D trance state, only to remain totally perplexed and confused as to the Luciferian mind controlling their paradise state. We're told by the Hopi grandfathers that there will be changes to the earth, because there is so much corruption, and a time of purifying will come, from the UFO alien civilizations. Because the native Indians repeat this story, the legitimacy of the myth becomes etched in stone. However, it is only sun god worship. The worship of the air, water, and earth. Worship of the intellectual and religious thought process. This is the Egyptian sun god, serpent god, alien god worship. Masquerading as wise native Indian elders. And completely manipulating humanity into seeing the pragmatism in adopting environmental green movement perpetuated as by the Luciferian thinkers to maneuver our wisdom into a mental and emotional prison. More native Indian symbolisms. Tasty supper of the lame. Baseball is a game played on a diamond, which in turn is a rock. The game of baseball is filled with symbolism when held up to scrutiny against the Luciferian agenda. The ball game idea began in Mesoamerica, ancient Mexico, and is the oldest game utilizing a rubber ball, going back 3,000 years. The game is played in a long narrow court, with sloping sides, much as you would see bleachers in a baseball game, and the purpose of the game is to keep the ball in play. The long narrow court is symbolic of the Sacramento and San Joaquin valleys, with the two opposing teams being the two valleys. The sloping sides are the San Lucia and Sierra Nevada mountains that line the sides. The purpose of the game is to hit the ball back and forth, attempting to strike the ball over the opposing team's goal line. The game was played for simple recreational purposes, but at the elite ritualistic level, it involved human sacrifice. The modern-day name for this sport in Mesoamerica is Alama. Alamu equals Ulamma equals U Los Angeles sacrifice, Mother of Mercy. The marriage supper of the Lamb is symbolically centered on the state of California. The game of Alama suggests the Mother C, U the Lamb of Sacrifice, and LA. With that in mind, consider that they play Alama on a court called the Taste, as in Tasty. If the ball goes over the end line, a point is scored for the other team. The team that scores 8 points, total control, wins. The object of the game is to keep the ball in play and in bounds. Large formal matches were played on a huge stone ball court, leading to human sacrifice. Ball equals Baal equals sacrifice of LA. Baal was a fertility water god. Alama is similar to field hockey or lacrosse. Hockey equals Hawkeye, a symbol of Zeus. Sack equals AWK equals OK, another native Indian name of God. Lacrosse equals the cross. The ball game of Alama and all sports are designed together in one place, the collective emotional thought energy, and to focus this thought energy into forming our hypnotic illusory reality, with no limitations on time and space, as both concepts are utilized to form the illusory 3D experience. Chocolate dessert time on the desert. The Mayans and Aztecs are credited with the discovery of cocoa. The cocoa plant is a small evergreen tree about 15 to 26 feet tall. Ever equals eternal and green equals holy water. The seeds from the cocoa plant are used for cocoa and chocolate. The most active ingredient in cocoa is theobromine, which is similar to caffeine. On page 30, caffeine was shown to be linked to the name of the Egyptian pyramids and the names of Khufu, Kaffa and Menkaure. The term theobromine in cocoa comes from the word theobroma, which means food of the gods. Symbolically, it means Theo equals God, B equals sacrifice, Roma equals scent. Together they suggest the sweet smell of sacrifice unto God. This food of the gods is the very same definition applied to blood in ancient Egypt. Then when one considers yet again that the marriage supper of the Lamb is centered in California, the chocolate mountains of Southeast California refer to the food of the gods mountains, or the blood mountains. These mountains are located between the Salton Sea and the Colorado River, which flows from the Grand Canyon, and is one of the symbolic rivers of blood that flows from the Four Corners cross-state. The other river of blood being the Rio Grande. If chocolate Easter bunnies come to mind right about now, the connection between Bugs Bunny and chocolate, the food of the gods, and the old Mesopotamian goddess Astarte, or Ishtar, which is Easter, may have something to do with it. Ashtar was connected with fertility, sex and war. Sounds like Sarah Palin, queen of the Alexamosk. Neighboring mountain ranges next to the Chocolate Mountains include Big Maria, B and G Mother Mary name, Palin Mountains, Sarah Palin, water payback symbolism, OLD Woman Mountains, reference to the Queen of Heaven, the Chuckwalla Mountains, Gukwalla, or Killing Water LA, and the Sheephole Mountains, located very near to where the Well of Souls, or the hole in the foundation rock, would coincide, amongst other mountain ranges in the area.